Gosh, darn it, and look down again. Well, I decided yesterday.
Hold on. Welcome to Transparency and Merit. It is now Tuesday, October 19th, 2021. Go ahead, Brian. What's up?
Well, I decided yesterday. I decided to put the show on private because things were said that were possibly against YouTube rules.
Right.
And I did not want to chance this. I mean, we may do a live show on Rumble. I think we got to work out the bugs on that, and we can say things that are, there's more of an allowance there.
You should focus when you're here on YouTube to say a word, like I say the word hot sauce to represent something. You know what I mean? Instead of saying a particular word that might damage the page. So, use any word. You could use rotten beef. I don't know, whatever.
And it is rather arbitrary.
Yeah, it's arbitrary.
You can still say certain hard truths, but certain things, of course, at this point in time, I'm just like,
I'll be honest, you can't say certain things about sexuality. You can't speak certain truths about sexuality, about war, about things, certain current events. So it's not just that, which is very, very difficult. We have a friend. We have somebody that we know, a friend of mine who I do shows with him and the whole thing, man. It's a good buddy of mine. He took a job at YouTube and he is officially basically on their censorship team. And so he's going to give me some insight as to the algorithm and the key words and phrases that really do raise the flag. But until then, first of all, I'm still shocked he's doing this. He's not doing it as a mole. He just needs a job. It just happens to be with pretty big company. And
now, because I was wondering, because we've had one guest on who wrote a book about crime. It's the only author we've had. Well, actually, we've had two authors. One was about John Wayne, and the other was about crime. I wonder, because he's been banished from YouTube, could we have that person on?
Yeah.
Or would we get in trouble?
Of course. No, we could. You could have him on for sure.
Okay. Because certain people have been banished from YouTube.
Most just don't want to come back. If they're banned from YouTube, it's like, why did they want to go back on YouTube? So it's going to really be up to that individual. But yeah.
But so there's been a lot of things said lately that have angered me, that have upset me, and a lot of stuff in my life that's angered and upset me. In some ways, maybe even angered and upset at my own personal failings at this point in time. But I think you can't speak hard truths without being angry, and the person will either accept your hard truth or they're just not ready for it and they don't want to hear it. But and you shouldn't chase people down with hard truth, but there are hard truths out there that are unpleasant and that are that the reality and the evidence for them is pretty substantial, and an individual either has an intellectual argument or an emotional argument against it, and an intellectual argument for the masses should trump an emotional argument, and some of my arguments too can be emotional. And he's asking for a link. Now, Howard again is asking for a link, and the only reason I don't want to do that is because YouTube has policies. I don't want to. I will do a live show on Rumble, but I'm not going to.
Thing is, do we care? I mean, what do we have to lose by, getting YouTube to strike us down? What do we have to lose? I only want to speak in truths. I don't want to beat around the bush. I just want to go directly at source. All right. I'm not looking to put a band-aid over cancer. All right. I'm not looking for remedy. I'm looking for answers. And the only way to do that is to cut the crap and go right for it. I really could care less if YouTube comes down on us. Just a thought.
Yeah, but again,
And neither should you.
I've got to really think about that because I enjoy going on YouTube. It's one of the things that I enjoy doing, and there are other like there are other things besides the topics that are rather taboo for them than what's been said. So should I accept this?
Yeah. Don't not accept it because of YouTube policy. You can take them or don't. It's up to you.
Well, it is the reason I'm not taking him is because he threatens YouTube policy, and I had to put a show on private. And
actually, you're the one that said the key word that could have got us banned.
What was the word? Oh, forget it. Forget the word. I wonder if you could message that to me. And
I want to save that moment of you asking that question. I think that's a soundbite right there.
Can you put the word Discord so I can hear the word that I spoke that could have gotten us banned?
Yeah, I just put it in there in the private chat on here on StreamYard. Anyways, go ahead, bring them in. Let's go. Let's get this done.
Okay. I'm warning you. Okay, you're being warned.
Yeah, you have control of the you can mute him or delete him at any time. I can't because I'm in the wrong account. But it's on you to control that. If you hear anything, you just
say okay again.
You just hang up, man. You don't need to warn him. He knows the score.
Right. I'm putting him in. I'm putting him on against some of my better judgment. And hopefully he will not.
You should not do things out of fear anyways. What's wrong with you? Stop being so scared.
I do things out of no, we do. We all do things out of fear.
Well, speak for yourself first, all right?
And he's look at his name. Look what he did.
Oh no, what is it? I can't see it yet.
Look what he said. YouTube rapes you. Come on, Howard.
That's not a bannable offense.
Is the word? But I heard the word rape is not necessarily allowed on YouTube.
That's not true, Brian. That's not true.
How many words are allowed?
I don't know.
40 according to Brian.
But I'm trying not. I know a few things that are not allowed. We've gotten a strike. The next strike will be 90 days, and Rumble is difficult to navigate. So I'm more interested in just doing my show through here. And there are other platforms, but on this platform, I'm going to respect it.
They don't respect you.
They sure don't.
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Why do you like spending time at a place that gives you no respect? It's a good point.
And turns you into a big pussy.
Keyword pussy right there.
A whining wench.
Sometimes you have to eat what's given to you.
Sometimes you get anally raped and you enjoy it.
Now I wonder if anal rape might be.
Howard, I disagree with that analogy. I believe that sometimes you're starving and you take what's given to you, regardless of whether the person respects you or not.
But it's not a person. These aren't human beings at YouTube.
No, they're not human beings. I mean, well, I mean, they are human beings. They're a human collective of human beings that have decided what is permissible and what is not.
But it's not standard for everyone. It's only permissible for certain people.
Yes,
And you're okay with that.
I don't think it's fair, but I've dealt with worse.
No, I think that getting anally raped by YouTube is not something that you should be happy about.
I don't think I'm being anally raped by YouTube. I think they're
Well, figuratively, you're being anally raped by YouTube. In fact, you have adopted the what do they call that effect when you're held hostage and you side with your captors?
the Stockholm Syndrome.
You suffer from Stockholm Syndrome, brought on by your fasting habits and lack of eating.
I would disagree with that. My fasting habit.
When you start lauding YouTube as the place that you want to be, and they use a toilet brush to anally rape you, I
Ouch.
don't think that's a thing you should be prideful about.
I'm not prideful. I don't have any pride about it. It is what it is.
Well, you said you enjoy it.
I enjoy being on this. I mean, I enjoy being on this platform. I don't
But
have.
it's an evil platform. Why would you enjoy it? Is it not evil? Is YouTube evil? Do they do evil things?
Do you think? Do you think just YouTube is like what's compared to other social media companies like Facebook and Twitter? Are they evil as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Facebook is and Twitter, they're both evil. And they're run by strange people who champion things that shouldn't be championed, like the high school where the girl got raped by the trans guy in the girls' bathroom. Loudon, Virginia. You don't know about that?
I do know about that, and there is speculation. Did that woman? I mean, was there a girl raped?
Yes. A 14-year-old girl was anally raped and forced to perform fellatio on the man or the boy in a dress
Wow.
as he anally raped her
Okay.
while they were both in the girls' room.
Mm-hmm.
Because he decided that day that he would wear a dress and identify as a female.
You know what? As I've said before, I've heard different things about that case, and
Have you?
there has been some
What
inaccurate.
have you heard? Well, what's inaccurate? The girl got raped.
I'm going to
The
go.
girl was anally raped, sodomized by this person with a dick who thought of himself as a girl. So he could use the bathroom that was used for girls. 14. That's a fact.
Well, they're alleging sexual assault, but it has not.
It's not what?
It has not been proven.
What do you mean it's not been proven? Girl did a rape kit. She was raped. They arrested him. Or her. Or him. Or she. Or they. Or whatever it is that they call themselves. It raped a 14-year-old girl and
Now,
sodomized her.
Why was Steven Crowder dismissed from YouTube?
Because he talked about it.
Is that the reason?
Yes. He did a skit about it with Alex Jones. How do I know this? Because I listened to the Megyn Kelly podcast this morning when I woke up.
Because he's been, from my understanding, he has a hard strike against him on YouTube.
He's got a hard strike against him. The only thing that you don't share with him is his millions of followers.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But he's already been demonetized. And since you've never made any money on YouTube, but you enjoy it so much, you are in the same company, or could be, as Steven Crowder.
Well, if you have any ideas for how Brian can make money on YouTube, please do share with him.
Discuss anal raping by trans men.
So this trans man sodomized, and I guess one of the reasons they said was that this person is part of a protected class, and I guess the protected class is protected even when they abuse. Speaking about them is
even more so.
Yeah.
Seems to me that YouTube is backing raping of 14-year-old girls in girls' bathrooms by teenage boys.
I don't know what to say about that. Again, before I make a comment on that, I mean, if what you're saying is true,
Why do you keep saying that? It's been admitted. It's been admitted by the school superintendent, who had to admit it, even though he hid it for several days. Even denied that it happened when he knew full well that it did.
Well, I don't have proof that that's the reason. I mean, I don't know what reason they gave. I mean, from my understanding, but this is again speculation. And before I engage in speculation, I would like to know.
Why is it speculation?
Well, no, I'm not saying that the rape didn't happen, but speculation on why Steven Crowder was taken down and that they are defending the rapist.
Because if you say anything bad about a trans person who rapes, you're pulled off of YouTube. That's evil.
Do you think this is going to get, like, if this is aired, do you think this will get pulled off of YouTube?
You mean your show?
Yes.
I don't know. Run it and see. What do you think should happen? What do you think should happen to YouTube and the evil people that run it?
Well, first of all, there should be an investigation to why they're allowing this to happen, and what kind of morals they're setting for society in the greater Western society at large. Because if they are protecting rapists because they're part of a protected class, that is very perverted and not the kind of society that I want to live in. I want people to have equal protection under the law and be protected from rape. So I would have a further investigation and an examination of the facts.
Now, is anybody looking into all the riots last year by Black Lives Matter?
Not as much as they should.
Were they looking into it at all? Does the FBI have anything on the Black Lives Matter riots?
I don't think so.
Doesn't that seem evil to you?
Yes.
There's an awful lot of articles if you put in Loudon and rape.
Yes, there are.
National Review, Western Journal. Well, let's see what Western Journal says. Loudoun County dad says his daughter was raped by a boy in the girls' bathroom, and school tried to cover it up. That's not an accusation. That's a fact now because the school has admitted it.
Yeah.
How about the woman on the SEPTA train, the L, which goes through goes north and south through Philadelphia,
Now,
and
Howard,
goes to a very famous place
have you ridden that train before, sir?
hundreds of times.
Go ahead.
How about the woman who is raped while people sat on the train and did nothing?
Yeah.
Now, I would not be on that train without a firearm. Could I pull that firearm and stop that rape?
You would probably at this time be vilified and heavily prosecuted for that.
Well, if I was lucky, I would do it in Upper Darby, which is right outside of Philadelphia proper, and probably nothing would happen to me. What if I shot him?
You know what? I don't know in this climate. I don't know what would happen to you if you shot him while he was raping a woman.
Raping somebody.
While he was raping.
So people were on this train.
Yes.
This is a train that probably can hold 100 or more people if everybody was standing. But this person was getting raped on the train, and nobody did anything. They just sat there.
Take the last train to Buttsville.
Now, Wayne Whitehead asked, you can open carry in Philly?
Yes. The Philadelphia police will tell you that you can't, but yes, you can. You know, Pennsylvania is an open carry state.
What's up, Mr. Whitehead?
Yeah. Yeah, I have rather mixed. Yeah, I mean, in this climate, I think common sense is not what it used to be. I don't know if you're old.
Common sense. How do you figure that to be common sense?
Well,
A woman was raped in front of I don't know how many people on board the train. I think the train was coming out of Philadelphia and entering Upper Darby, which is Delaware County, which is right outside of Philadelphia County.
I would, Scott. I'm in a little bit of pain, a little bit of agony at the moment.
The world has turned evil.
Well, the world has turned the world has turned into protecting degenerates over decent Americans and decent human beings.
Well, we don't know if the woman was a decent human being, but what we do know is she was raped.
Yeah, well, I would say the United States and perhaps even the Western world seems at this time to be the champion place for degenerates and not for the law-abiding and those who want to defend themselves against degenerates.
Uh-oh. Breaking news. Beep, 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 beep. We have breaking Wuhan flu, COVID-19 information. Would you care to hear it?
Go ahead.
I think you're going to be a bit shocked. I have to find out where I put it. Increases in COVID-19 are unrelated to levels of vaccination across 68 countries and 2,947 counties in the United States. Published in Springer Nature, 9th of September, 2021, in the European Journal of Epidemiology. And here's the first sentence. Vaccines currently are the primary mitigation strategy to combat COVID-19 around the world. For instance, the narrative related to the ongoing surge of new cases in the United States is argued to be driven by areas with low vaccination rates. A similar narrative has been observed in countries such as Germany and the United Kingdom. At the same time, Israel, that was hailed for its swift and high rates of vaccination, has also seen a substantial resurgence in COVID-19 cases. We investigate the relationship between the percentage of population fully vaccinated and new COVID-19 cases across 68 countries and across 2,947 counties in the U.S. Findings. At the country level, there appears to be no discernible relationship between percentage of population fully vaccinated and new COVID-19 cases in the last 7 days. In fact, the trend line suggests a marginally positive association such that countries with higher percentage of population fully vaccinated have higher COVID-19 cases per 1 million people. And if you skip all the way down to the interpretation, the sole reliance on vaccination as a primary strategy to mitigate COVID-19 and its adverse consequences needs to be re-examined, especially considering the Delta variant and the likelihood of future variants. Other pharmacological and non-pharmacological interventions may need to be put in place alongside vaccination rates, such put in place alongside increasing substantially lower. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong paragraph. I'll read that again. Other pharmacological and non-pharmacological interventions may need to be put in place alongside increasing vaccination rates. Such course correction, especially with regards to the policy narrative, becomes paramount with emerging scientific evidence on real-world effectiveness of vaccines. What that means is the countries that they looked at that had the lowest vaccination rates also had low new cases of COVID-19. But the countries and counties that had vaccinations that were very high, including some counties that were 98% vaccinated in the United States, had
Get to the
higher,
point already. Get to the
higher
point.
incidence.
Stop reading immediately. What is your
incidence
point?
of the virus. So if you got vaccinated, it looks like there's more chance of you getting the virus than if you're not vaccinated. Now, how can that be? This is a Harvard study, by the way.
I expect, I think, and I'm not positive here. I'm going by some conversations I've had, but I'm hearing more that there are people dying, and these numbers are being completely withheld, or the stories themselves are being censored from the media. And I don't know if you've heard anything like that. But I'm not sure. I'm talking about people who are vaccinated, who are, are dying. And I don't know if that's true.
Oops, I have to get to work. And is there anything?
Have you been vaccinated?
Yes, double vaxxed, and I'm
Double
going to
vaxxed? With which of the poisons?
Moderna. And
you will likely die soon.
Okay, get out of here.
Disavow Howard poison. Shame on you.
You will likely die soon.
Shame on Howard.
Shame on you, Howard. You're a heretic.
Create that will quick.
So, anything else to add before I end the show?
I'm so happy to see Susie is here. What's up, Mr. Whitehead?
How do you know she's here?
And we got the Master of Rope, and we got High Ridge Estates. These are all.
Who's that gay guy that I talked to yesterday?
These are all incredible people. I'm always glad to see them. And the Master of Rope was somebody you've talked to.
Yeah. Now, okay, anything to add? The heretic, Howard the heretic. Is there anything to you to add before I end the show?
Well, when are you going to get your booster dose of the Moderna?
Probably before the
you will line up for it. You will just roll your sleeve up and say, "Jab."
Get there quick before anything bad happens to you, Brian. Get there quick.
Yeah, I'm getting my booster shot because I don't want.
By the way, Israel has already started their booster shots, and they've got most people boosted, and they're having a absolute horror show over there with the resurgence of the virus. Why?
How is that possible?
All right, guys, listen. This is something to talk on a later date. Before we discuss anything like this, I would want to do some investigation.
Mm-hmm.
You always say that, and you always act as if what I have told you. This is a peer-reviewed, published study, a Harvard study, no less, published in the European Journal of Epidemiology.
Brian, this is a matter of life and death. If you're going to sit there and tell us you got to go do your research, you better get on that horse. Go research.
I will. That I promise. Hey, guys, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
Are you shedding the COVID-19 virus?
I don't know. Hey, guys, like, subscribe.
If you were shedding the COVID-19 virus, would you not go out?
I don't know. At this, yeah, I'll answer that question later. Okay, like, subscribe, leave a comment down below.
You got muted.
And visit our website.
They got unmuted.
We can take you off, Howard. Like, subscribe.
Why are you laughing? I'm telling you that you are the closest to death that you have ever been.
Maybe I am.
You will cease being.
Howard, okay, like, subscribe, leave a comment.
You will join your parents wherever they are.
Like, subscribe.
Your being, your essence will be gone forever.
Leave a comment down below and visit our website at Transparency.
Nobody visits the website.
Shut him up.
End of show, Howard. You're